Hi guys, my name is Tise Karunwi and I'm a wife, a mom of two. I'm married to an amazing guy and we just have fun all the time. I'm also a nurse. I'm in psych and I'm just happy to be living my purpose and be doing the things that I love and I enjoy doing. So yeah, I'm glad to be here to share my experiences with you guys. Thank you for having me.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Conversations from the Diaspora with Love, and this is your sister and your friend, Nkiru. On today's episode, I'm joined by a lovely woman. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a nurse, among other things. And she'll be talking to us about her experience giving birth. I'll let her introduce herself. Tisha, would you do the honors?
Yes, hi, Nkiru. I'm so happy to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Tise Karunwi, and yeah, like you said, I'm a wife, a mom, among other things. I like to, dabble in different things. Right now, I just started a YouTube channel where I'm just trying to use it as an avenue to document pretty much my life and my experience being a wife and a mom, but most importantly, being a child of God. As a Christian, I feel like we are called to the world to be an example, and that's really what I'm trying to do on my YouTube channel. So yeah, follow me on my YouTube channel. It's called Tise K. So that's Tise space Kay. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that, sis. So,
Thank
so
you.
before we get deep into our discussion, I asked you briefly, how are you and the family during this time of quarantine? I know you're an essential worker, so your experience is different from many of ours. And by the way, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Right now we are doing great. The great thing about well, there's a good thing and a bad thing about being an essential worker. The
Yeah,
good thing is I have a job, which
exactly.
a lot of people don't have right now and are struggling with. But the bad thing is also that I'm at risk,
Mm,
for catching anything,
yeah,
which I actually thought that I did a few couple of months ago. But thank God that I tested negative. So
exactly. Thank
um,
goodness.
yeah, I just thank God for that.
Is your hospital are you guys well prepared as far as like PPE and everything else?
Yeah, the good thing is that even though I'm a nurse, I'm not on the front line like that. I'm actually in psych. So what we did was we just stopped accepting patients, to be honest with
Okay.
you. Um, and we stopped visitation. We stopped a lot of things, like anybody from coming from the outside.
Yeah.
We do screenings every day. When we come in, we screen all the staff and check the temperature, check all of that stuff. They have to literally every morning or anytime you go to work, you have to kind of talk about your symptoms and what you're feeling and so on and so forth. And if you have any symptoms that could even be close to coronavirus, we ask that you stay home and quarantine yourself for 2 weeks and get tested.
Yeah.
So honestly, that's what we've been doing. And to God be the glory, we don't have any case of coronavirus right now.
Oh,
Um,
good.
yeah, we've been able to really keep that away. And it's the effort from everybody at my job.
Wow, that's wonderful. I really commend you guys for that. So, what
Thank
is
you.
one thing that you would say that you, I guess, enjoy about this time, and maybe one thing that you look forward to once this is all over, prayerfully?
Oh, what do I enjoy about this time? To be honest, not much has changed for me because
Okay.
I'm still going to work. I'm still coming back home. The only thing that I would say I enjoy is my husband has been forced to work from home. So
Yeah.
it's good on my off days. I do get to have him to hang around with. But it's also a bad thing because really he's so busy. Is because he's been forced to stay at home, his job, they were not prepared to be online. So
Exactly.
he's doing like 3 times the normal job. So
Wow.
he's very, very stressed out. So even though, yeah, I do have him at home, I really don't have him. He's
Yeah.
in a zillions of meetings. It's just, and I can't really talk to him, he'll be like, shh, I'm in a meeting. It's like, it's just being kind of rough on him more than me, to be honest. Because I
Yeah.
get to just leave my job, but he's literally working till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. sometimes,
Wow.
just to make that semester go away. And thank God it's finally done. And
Exactly.
um, even though it's done, it doesn't really have that breathing room because they have to prepare for the summer. So
Oh,
now they want to go and train for how to
yeah.
properly handle the summer online.
Because
So
I was reading somewhere that they're not going to like have in-person classes until maybe fall of 2021.
yeah, I think right now they're trying to prepare for the fact that they might not even have they might they prepare for like an online in the fall. They're
Oh,
hoping it
okay.
doesn't get there, but their concerns are really towards the professors because professors are also a little bit older, and they are really concerned that everybody's going to come back to school, and all these young students that are asymptomatic will come back, and they're healthy, so they're not sick, but they're going to give it to all these professors that are 60 over 65.
Oh,
So they are concerned for their health in more so anything. And I think if they do stay online in the fall, it would be because of that. But I
yeah.
think they're trying to work a way around it. They're trying to reduce class size. They're trying to do a lot of things. Maybe do like a hybrid where
Yeah.
so they're working on a lot of stuff. I just give you some tips to tell you I've been in all those meetings. I've been
Exactly.
I'm hearing all those their conversations. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because I was talking to one of my friends about the same kind of thing. Like the good thing about this, I guess, time that we're at home, it's
Mm-hmm.
forcing many people to, I guess, well, I don't want to use the word force, but it's causing people to have some level of closeness, like more appreciation, I guess, for their families
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yeah.
the
No,
essential workers.
and I get that for a lot of people, but to be honest, for me, nothing has really changed.
Yeah.
I'm still doing to work. And luckily, my children's daycare, they stayed open.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
surprising.
They stayed
Interesting.
open, especially because they knew, excuse me, I have
Bless you.
allergies around this time.
I know that's everyone's gonna think something else.
Yeah, I have allergies. They stayed open because of they know that some of us there are essential workers.
Okay, good.
And I also think, to me, I actually think that they also want to stay getting paid
Yeah.
because, excuse me. Oh Lord, let me get all the sneezes out. I think they also want to stay with a job because, to be honest, to be out of work, um, it's not, it's not everybody can handle that. And
Mm,
I think this worked out for all of us. And initially, I was like reluctant to taking the kids over there, but
yeah.
I saw the way they were. I mean, they gloved up, they with their mask and everything, and they were really doing everything to make sure that
Yeah.
nobody gets sick. In fact, you can't even go in. They take your child from you at the door, and
Okay.
so I mean, by God's grace, the kids are all right,
Good.
and nobody there have been sick or anything like that.
Yeah, we pray that it stays that way. But it's just so crazy because I think some of these things they should have been happening from a long time, like making sure certain things are sanitized the right way, especially with dealing with
Right.
food and children. And but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything has to happen for something, I guess, greater to come out of it. So we'll see how
Yes.
things, kind of turn out. And I think another
Yes.
thing too, many people have taken this time to like build on maybe their creative side. Did you start your channel during this time or?
So funny enough, I started my channel on my birthday, which was March 11th.
Okay, so right
So
before all this kind of got really,
right before all this got started.
yeah, same here with my podcast.
So when all this when all this thing started, it made me realize, huh? So this right now people can be home. They can actually
Yeah.
get to really watch more of my content and stuff. So I'm like, I really need to, improve on my on my stuff. I can actually send more videos out. Sometimes when I'm reluctant to kind of put something out, I'm like, people are home. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Yeah. So it actually made me think about even the future because God
Yeah.
forbid anything like this happen again, you need to think about a lot of people that don't have a job right now. Starting something online is great,
Oh
especially
yeah.
if you can get something from it financially, that would be great to just have multiple sources of income.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I should start taking this stuff seriously.
Yeah. So just
Yeah.
before we get to the main topic, just one light last comment. What is one
Yeah.
thing that you think that you look forward to, I guess, once this is all over?
Being able to, I want to say being able to go out, but really
Yeah,
I don't really go out before because I have two young kids and it's just like
I know.
taking them out. I have to plan a lot of things ahead.
Oh
But
my gosh.
yeah, I have to plan. But I think it's just being able to know that there is that option
Mm,
to go out. Like for example, I'm trying to get back into fitness, trying to
yeah.
lose weight and all that stuff. And I just want to be able to I lose weight or I'm more fit when I'm out on the court playing tennis because that's what I'm used to playing.
Oh, nice.
And I can't because of during this time I've not been able to play tennis because all those the facilities have been closed.
Yeah, I
So
know.
I'm definitely looking forward to being able to go play tennis, and I use it as a stress reliever. I use it to escape from my children, and I want to use it to lose weight right now. So I can't wait to be able to get back into that.
Wow. Since next time we're in the same area, we should play tennis together. I love tennis.
Ouch, anytime, anytime.
So sis, I just wanted to thank you again just for joining us. I wanted to highlight a few facts about Black maternal health in this country. And again,
Mhm.
I watched your video when you were just discussing your birth experience and your birth story, and that's kind of what piqued my interest and wanting to just talk with you about it. Um, so we know Serena Williams and Beyonce, they're both superstars, obviously in their own rights, in their own fields. They're both well known. They're both wealthy women, but they both experienced life-threatening complications in their pregnancies, just like millions of other Black women in the United States. Um, Black women, according to the CDC, are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women, and this is partly why the maternal mortality rate, tongue twister, in the U.S. is the worst in any industrialized country. So why do you think this is? And from there, could you tell us a little bit about your birth experience?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean those are facts you just stated, and it's unfortunate that in this country, being as developed as it is, to be one of the highest rated, you say highest rated like cause of mortality.
Yeah, like
And I mean, I don't know about with different races, but I can tell you why it is with you know with us blacks, for example, and you're talking about Africans in the diaspora. Well,
mhm,
guess what? They consider us blacks. We are black,
yeah,
so we're all together in this. And
exactly.
unfortunately, um, being even in the health field,
Hmm.
just to digress a little bit, I'm a tennis player, so I obviously my favorite tennis player in the world is Serena Williams.
Yeah,
I remember when she had a child, and that is the number one player in the world, a
yeah,
millionaire, multi-millionaire. For her, to, as powerful as she is,
exactly.
to go have a baby, and she had a really difficult pregnancy, I think, and she had a difficult birth.
Yeah,
And when she gave birth, she said that's when she started battling for her life.
yeah,
And she said that she pretty much told them, I know the pain and the way I'm feeling. I can't breathe and all this stuff. I know that I'm having the blood clots because what you know one thing about blood clots is when you have a higher chance of it increasing when you're pregnant.
hmm,
There's also an increase when you lead a life where you're in one place for too long. And a lot of times with the tennis players, they're traveling a lot. So they're always sitting down in the plane. They're sitting down, for a long period of time, especially because they're traveling. So they for actually are prone, really athletes are actually prone to blood clots. And she has had about 4 different blood clots before that
wow,
almost killed her before. So she knows her symptoms. I'm sorry, there's no as a nurse, what I always ask a patient if they say anything is wrong with them, I believe them. They
yes,
know their body more than I can do. I can only go from a textbook. I can only go from the things that I've seen. But nobody can tell you about your issues more than you. And
hmm,
for her, Serena Williams saying, "Look, I'm having blood clots, like pulmonary embolism or whatever. This is what's going on." And they're like, "No, we don't say anything like that." And they were not taking her seriously. that got me thinking, like, if Serena Williams was not taken seriously, like,
Yeah,
there's
it would have been a different story.
yeah, and come to find out that was what was going on with her, and it was until then. If you don't know the issue, you cannot solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It was now until then that they now started like fixing her, and how to start administering the medications and stuff like that to treating her. I said that because with the high rate of mortality, I don't know the fact and I don't know the numbers here, but it's even higher amongst African Americans, amongst blacks.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, well, I mean, not for whatever reason, but for some reasons, we are not being taken serious. Um,
Mm.
Part of it might be our fault, but a lot of it is just because somehow we are not being respected. We are not being respected to state our opinion on what is wrong with our bodies.
Yeah.
I see this a lot when if I have my choice, I always go for like a black doctor.
Yeah.
I do that because I not to prejudice or to be partial,
Yeah.
but I also know that I cannot compare my body to that of a Caucasian, you know. And the reason why is because I just feel like even though yes, we are humans, but
Mm-hmm.
there are some symptoms and there are some diseases that are more prevalent in people like me that a white person might not have or might not be used to.
Okay.
And so I like a doctor that kind of know what I'm feeling, that has dealt with my bodies. Maybe she's had that issue herself. Because I just feel like they're able to have more insight. Because I've seen that whenever I do go for white doctors, they always seem to say certain things that they just always underplay my pain, they underplay my symptoms, they just always underplay it. I never knew why, but also I've been realizing that just our bodies are different. I mean, if you look at the BMI scale, for example, I always joke about that. Um, that for whatever reason, this was a scale that was made up many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but it was not made to fit the bodies of blacks or African Americans. It was not made for that because if you look at our bone density, it weighs more than that of maybe like an Asian or a white person. It weighs more. So because of that, we're gonna weigh more. Whether we are in shape or not, whether we are skinny or not, our bone density, the mass is just is bigger, and so we are most likely to be considered overweight or obese because of that. Now, which is why I've never followed them. I remember when I was in college playing college tennis, an athlete, I was as skinny as, if you look at me, you probably think I weigh like 130, but I weigh 175 because, like I
Muscle.
said, it's all muscle. Even though I don't look like I'm muscular, I was very thin, but is the bone density contributes to it. And so when I look at that, I never really try to compare myself with that. So I always try to get a doctor that might understand my body and understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not always the case, because when you use your insurance to to go find doctors, you don't always get the doctor that that works for you. And that was the case when I was pregnant.
Hmm.
Being that it was my first child, I definitely wanted a place that I wanted to a top-notch place
Yeah.
that was gonna take care of me and know what they're doing. So I purposely chose a clinic that I know will deliver at a certain hospital. So
Okay.
that's what I did. And I mean, and yeah, and I don't know. I think you wanted me to talk about why the case is high in America. And what I would just say is that we need to be doing more patient care than
Mm-hmm.
equipment care. When I say equipment care, I feel like a lot of the physicians or healthcare workers, we are looking at what the equipment are telling us. What is the
Mm.
ultrasound saying? What is the blood pressure machine saying? What is this one saying? And not what is the patient saying. When we listen more to what the patient is saying, like, this is what is going on with me. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm ready to have a baby. I feel like I'm ready to do this. Then we can actually start treating it by what they are saying. We can actually be able to treat that person faster and avoid a lot of mortality. Because I feel like we are too equipment focused. in
Wow.
this country. And it's good. It's good that we have machines. It's good that we have all this stuff to tell us what's wrong. But the person is still the best person to tell you what's wrong.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think that's just my answer to that.
Yeah, because I know in your video, and of course, feel free to not go as deep or however deep you want to go into it. You
Hmm.
mentioned how with your, I think it's your first son,
Hmm.
they kept sending you back home. You were telling them that
Yeah,
you were feeling a certain way, but they said, oh, they kind of, like you said earlier, they tried to undermine your experience. Obviously, it was
yeah,
your first pregnancy,
and
your
that
first child, but
and,
you can tell what's going on in your body.
right, and that's part of that goes back to what I was saying earlier, that I cannot expect a white person to understand what's going on in my body
Mm-hmm.
as an African that I've been trained to not really talk about my pain. I don't know if
Mm,
you get what I'm saying.
powerful.
I'm used to, I mean, period pain is nothing to me. I don't take medication for that. I just started
Yeah,
taking it now because it's now
different.
bad.
You're having babies.
It's not different.
Yeah.
But up until that time, I never took medication for period pain. And I just knew how to tolerate pain, and I think it's part of my upbringing. You never really talk about pain. If you hit your leg on the rock, guys, you're okay. Keep going. So you not even want to say something like you don't even want to talk about it.
Hmm.
Um, when you see our mothers deal with pain, and you know that they have big issues, and they don't say nothing about it.
Wow.
So someone, how can um my white worker nurses
Yeah.
understand the fact that not even just white nurses, and I also had a black nurse,
Okay.
but how can they understand that this African girl just doesn't want to show her pain? Because and also I did not want to be that bad patient that's like crying and screaming and
Mm.
whatnot. And oh, trust me, and I learned and I changed my ways the second time around, okay?
Good.
But I did not want to be that person screaming, and because I felt like it was just that was not the way I was trained to be. Like I was not raised to be screaming and yelling because people will just tell you, shut up, you
Yeah.
know? So I was not going to express myself. And that also went into the case of labor. I got there and like, I was just, the pain was already there. But I'm just like, I cannot be showing them that I'm in pain. I'm going to come and embarrass myself here. That's the thing that was going on in my head. Like I cannot show them that I'm in pain. But I felt like it was enough for me to tell them, yeah, I am in pain,
Yeah.
and they would take it seriously. But they were like, oh, the way you are laughing, and trust me, you are not. So they literally had me think that if I was in true pain,
You'd be crying or something.
I should be screaming, yeah. But my thought process was, you guys told me to come here when I'm between 3 to 5 minutes
Contract.
minutes contraction. So I'm 3 to 5 minutes in contraction. That's enough for you guys to just admit me and start the process.
Hmm.
That's I was told. I didn't think I was not told that you must be screaming and crying and whatnot
Yeah.
to for us to believe you that you are in pain. My word that I'm in pain should be enough. So because of and another thing also is the body type. They
Okay.
are used to taking care of someone that develops contractions in their back or
Okay.
around their body. They are used to someone having back pains, for example. So, like I said, that area that I'm in is mostly Caucasians. So I don't know if maybe my white counterparts just always have their labor in their back. Maybe that's what they were used to. And then here I come. I don't have any back pain. I don't have any of that. I'm just cramping in my front, in my lower abdomen. That's all I have. So maybe they're just not used to that. They were waiting for me to have that. And let me tell you, I never had that. Even when I was about to give birth, I still never had that back labor that they were saying that I would have. I never had it. So everybody is going to be different. We need to treat each individual like
An individual.
as individuals. We cannot. Yeah, it's good to compare certain things when you want to compare how to treat somebody. But if someone is telling you otherwise, they just
You
have to be
listen.
listened to, or you have to make them listen to you. And
Yeah.
that's what I got to learn later on, is that at the end of the day, you have to take your care to your own hands, because if nobody's going to listen to you, then you have to make them listen to you.
Sis, you said two very powerful things. I don't want to lose it. the first thing you said, you highlighted, I guess, the cultural kind of situation where we are kind of taught, both African Americans, continental Africans, Africans, and other parts of the diaspora, which obviously this is what my podcast is about. Like, we internalize pain on a different
Yes.
level. We don't want to speak out because, you don't want to look at as weak, or you don't want someone to say, oh,
Yes.
just hush.
Mm-hmm.
What can, obviously you're a mom now, to two beautiful boys. What can you do differently, I guess, in the raising of how you raise them, to take them away from that, maybe that mindset or that kind of thinking, so they grow up, feeling free and open to share with mom and dad, or anyone else, hey, this is hurting me, or this is bothering me. And the second thing, I forgot. So sorry, just answer that one, please. I'll get back to that later.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like the other day my son did something that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think I corrected him or something. And then I was about to go to work.
Yeah.
And I said, give me a hug. He refused to give me a hug. I said, hmm. He just was ignoring me. You know how
Yeah.
kids are. I said,
Yeah.
give mommy a hug. Mommy's going to work. He didn't give me a hug. He didn't give me a kiss. Nothing. So I said, mommy is sad. I said,
Oh.
mommy is sad. And I started kind of fake crying to let him know that I'm sad. So I did that and I walked off and I went to work. I got in the car. My husband like literally rushed behind me and said, Kiowa is crying. Kiowa is crying. I said, why? He said that he's sorry. Kiowa is sorry. Like he wanted me to come back. So I
Oh.
went back and I said, this guy was full blown crying because he saw that he had made me sad.
Yeah.
So, and I gave him a hug, I gave him a kiss, and I said, mommy is happy. Mommy is happy. And he was like, and I said, are you happy? He said, yes, yes. Kyle was happy. I said, okay,
Oh.
that's wonderful. I mean, I shared that because I want them to be able to express themselves and I want them to be able to see me when I'm sad, see me when I'm crying, see me when I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because we never see our parents sad. I never did.
Yeah, I
I
know.
never saw them crying. I never saw them, and yeah, we try to shield our kids from seeing a side of us, but our kids also need to see us
Yeah,
when
as
we are
humans.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Our kids need to see that it's okay when you're not happy. You can tell, you don't have to cry. You can say, mommy is not happy.
Yeah.
You know, mommy is not happy that you did that. But we only see our parents as happy or angry when they're mad at you or
Yeah.
when they're happy about something. We never see them like they don't really come and tell you like, hey, I'm not happy that you did that. They're not really like vulnerable.
Hmm.
And for me, what I had to change, and I think because of that, I was not vulnerable.
Yeah.
I also didn't want anybody to see me as weak, you know.
Yeah.
I
So
mean
cool.
that I'm strong and that's it. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something that I'm changing. Even though I do have boys, it's okay as boys to cry. It's
Yeah.
okay if you're sad, be sad. I want to see it. So I definitely do encourage, like right now, even though they are still very young, but
Yeah.
I encourage their vulnerability. I encourage their emotional state. They need to develop all sides. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell them if they are crying to be quiet, to shut up because they are boys. I will
Yeah.
not do that. If
Exactly.
they're crying, okay, what can mommy do to fix it? Okay, let's go do this. If some, like one of them just hurt their knees, was crying, I'm like, oh, sorry, it's gonna be okay. I'm not gonna say stop crying,
Yeah.
be a big boy. And I think those are the words that we always throw out there, like you're a big boy, be a big boy, stop crying. Big boys don't cry, big girls don't cry, like just all that stuff. Like I think it's gonna affect them later on in life. You might not see the effect now, but when it's time for them to actually show their vulnerability, whether they are now dating or they are in marriage, and when the woman wants them to show their vulnerability, when they need to show that side of them, they don't know how to show it, and it always affects them later on in life. So my thing is that I'm going to train them right now to know how to express themselves, and in a healthy way.
Okay. So sorry, I had a slight interruption.
No,
Um,
no worries.
I think I remember my other question I was going to ask you. How do we advocate for ourselves?
Hmm.
Like, I think many of us, we don't want to be looked at as, oh, angry Black woman, angry Black man, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what can a person do, I guess, to speak up for themselves without being looked at as one way or the other? Or should it matter really?
I think that that's one thing I have to tell myself. The first time around, that was my thought process. Like by the time I came back again the third time, by the time I came back the third time, I'm like, this has gone past what they think of me at this point. Now, all their notions and all their stereotype of what I'm supposed to have been, that I've been not, that I've tried not to be, I'm back to. I don't care if I'm gonna be that stereotype times 100. I think at the end of the day, whatever means that you have to go to get the care that you deserve, you need to go there. Okay. Now, the goal is not to be the stereotypical angry black woman or whatever. But if you have to be, if it is by being angry black woman that you get the care that you and your child need, then by all means, to me, be angry, be very, very angry. Okay. Because when, God forbid, with all these cases of black moms that die in while giving birth, I'm pretty sure if they knew that by being angry they will be alive, they would have. So I definitely don't think that we should be thinking about what will be seen as. I think definitely preparation is key. I think looking back now, I was able to see that had I prepared more, but it was understandable because it was my first child. But looking back now, I needed to, in order to be able to advocate for myself, I needed to plan it out. So I'm like, okay, when I see that when I'm in labor, I cannot speak that much. I'm in a different zone. So guess what? I'm going to have somebody speak for me, someone that knows exactly what I want. So to me, being able to advocate for yourself is putting measures around you, putting things in place to be able to speak for you, even when you cannot speak for yourself, because we're talking about being being pregnant and going into labor and stuff like that. So when you are trying to do that, you are in a different zone. You're not thinking about a lot of stuff. So you need to have somebody
Yeah.
that can stand in the gap for you to represent you true and true. And like being able to, like the second time around, I went to I told my doctors, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I had it written down. Okay. I had it sent to the hospital. I
Okay.
I brought a copy with me and I gave it to them. That this is what they say is gonna happen. This
Yeah.
is what exactly what I want to happen. And I kept reminding them that if the consequences of, if that does not happen, here are the consequences. This
Mm.
is what's gonna happen. I will have to speak with the head of the hospital. I don't care who I have to go through. So, but I'm not doing that in an angry format. No, I'm doing
Yeah.
that very calmly, and I'm just stating facts, and I'm just giving it to them. These are your words. This is what you guys wrote to come to the hospital at so and so time.
Mm-hmm.
If I come at so and so time, this is what you guys would do. So
Exactly.
I have that. These are my birth plan. We've already constructed it. Everybody I've seen it. So that's exactly what I want to happen. If we deviate from that plan now,
Then these are the
it has to be
consequences.
me. I have to be the one to give us the go ahead to deviate. If
Okay.
not,
Okay.
then that's not happening. So I think having a good understanding of what to come is always good. Planning, I think, is really by planning that you advocate for yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
also having that person that can speak for you,
Mm-hmm.
just in case things are not going the way that it should be.
Yes. So sis, I'm actually happy that you mentioned that, because I think another challenge in our community, we're not, especially for believers, we don't like the idea of, I guess you can say, suing people or taking people to court.
Yeah,
But
and I, yeah,
yeah,
I used to be
I
like that,
know,
but not
with
anymore.
your experience, I know you were thinking, some people in your, in your comments on YouTube were saying, what did you do to kind of address it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what can we do? How I like how you mentioned that, because that's a very important key thing. I think when it comes to our counterparts, for white people, they are very, I think the word is litigious or whatever. They,
I mean, they will sue for
yeah,
any,
they
they
will
will
sue in a
sue for their
heartbeat.
water not being hot enough.
Yeah,
They-
if anything is not what they want, they're going to, you're going to get in trouble for it. Why don't we have that same kind of mode of operation when it comes?
I think, like you said, as Christians, but I think let's be careful with the Christians that we say, because I know many Christians that do sue.
Yeah.
I think it's a certain kind of Christianity that always want to say we shouldn't,
Yeah.
or not to be wicked or whatnot. I think it depends on what you're suing for. I
Okay.
feel like if what you're suing for is legitimate,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Now, for me, did I have a right to sue? I don't know, because I don't really know what my rights were, to be honest with you. If I had, like, from my experience that happened, some people felt like I should, but I do not know much about the law to
Okay.
know what. Because for me, if I'm going to sue you, I need to be sure that I'm going to win. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be bringing a lot of facts. But I don't want a situation where I now go through the process of getting a lawyer. I go through the process of having all this stuff down, because I am going to have to pay the lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not going to go through all that process and then they had some kind of claim, to me not winning.
Everything is
So I
documented, right?
wanted to.
Like all of your complaints, is you document it at least with the
Yeah,
hospital?
in fact, yeah, I document. In fact, I sent the hospital a long letter of what happened and stuff like that. I thought maybe I would even get like a sorry. I didn't get nothing.
Wow.
Anything. Yeah, I didn't get nothing. And yeah, at that point I could have been bitter and did it. To be honest with you, I did pray about it, and I just felt peace in my mind, and I was just like, you know what? Not suing was the worst, but I felt that I had what I went there for, and the experience, no matter how bad it was initially, God just God turned everything for good, and I just had to be grateful for that. And because of that, that's why I ended up not pursuing that. But I had a peace of mind not to. In hindsight, could I have? Yes. If I had maybe some money that I can just throw away like that, I would. I don't think
Throw away.
anything. Yeah, I mean, throw away as in just in case. I guess I'm the
Yeah.
kind of person that I always think about, if this does not work out, am I ready to lose
Lose
3, 4, 5
however.
grand, 5 grand like that?
Yeah.
So,
Well, just I mean,
but
I'm
if I
glad
had
that
like
you.
that kind of money lying around, I would have definitely given it a shot.
Okay. Well, with your second son, did you have a similar experience, or how was that birth?
No, my second experience was amazing. Like I
Okay.
said, I took a tour of the maternity unit. I spoke to some of the nurses, I to see what you know how their process was. I spoke to um like everybody that it was also a similar thing whereby the clinic that I go to, I mean, I have midwives, they have all of those people, but it's whoever is on call anytime you are going to give birth that will come to help you with your delivery.
Okay.
So because of that, I probably saw about 4 different types of physicians. I had the certified nurse midwife, I had the doctor. In fact, the doctor that ended up coming to deliver my child, I only saw her the last 2 times.
Hmm.
Literally, I saw her 2 weeks before I delivered.
Oh,
So
okay.
all the ones that I actually was seeing for mainly were not the one that even came to deliver my child. But what I made sure was each time when I see a different person, I reiterate my
Your expectations.
right. I reiterate my expectation. This is what I expect. I always let them know about what happened the first time. And they were telling me, nope, nope, we're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. Yes, you come in. I always ask, when do I come in? You're not going to send me back. So I always like, they were probably tired of it by the time I was done with my pregnancy. They were tired. I always make sure I let them know. So in fact, the very, because I had already gone like one day over with the
Okay.
second child. But luckily, I had an appointment that day, so I was one day over. But it came to the appointment period. I did not think I would make that appointment, but since I did not deliver, I made the appointment. And she was like, "Okay, do you want us to like induce you?" And I said, "Okay, we can schedule for an induction."
Uh-huh.
So she was going to schedule like for another like week or two, hoping that I would have had the baby by then. But if not, then um, they would do the induction. But she now asked me about how the baby was in my stomach. And then I realized that this baby is usually like a karate mover, always like
Flipping.
somersaulting and jumping in
Yeah.
my stomach. And this child has not moved in like a day. So I'm like, this baby has not moved in a day. And she's like, wow, that's very concerning for him to not have moved. I mean, I drank soda, everything, just to get the baby to move, and he was not moving like that. I later on actually found out what the reason was. So basically, because of that, she now found like an opening for an induction the next day.
Okay.
So I was scheduled for an induction the next day. Well, I didn't even need to make that induction because literally 5 a.m. And my induction was at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
At 5 a.m. I said I called everybody like we gotta go. I gotta go give birth.
Yeah.
Um, so really I ended up having my baby around that 9 o'clock. But if I was scheduled for an induction, if I was to meet the induction, I would have not had the baby for. So the baby definitely came before they had to induce me. So I was never induced.
Okay.
By that time I was already I already had my baby. But the process, I mean, from getting there, the nurses were just much better. Also, I
Nice.
will say the nurses were African Americans. In
Okay.
fact, I had a nurse that was from Jerusalem.
Oh. Huh.
No. Her name was Jerusalem. She
Oh.
was
Okay.
like she was of Ethiopian Somalian descent.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I had a white student nurse that was absolutely amazing, which was very surprising because she was a student nurse.
Wow.
And usually student nurses are not that involved, but she was very involved. And I feel like you're only going to fill up the energy of the person that you are training with. And
Yeah.
all
Oh.
the nurses that was there were so nice to me. I mean, this was the birth that I wanted to have the first time.
Yeah. So I mean, you just touched on this topic because I know with the issue of Black maternal mortality, there's been a rise in popularity for Black doulas and Black midwives. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that? Is this a wonderful thing? Is this a great thing? What would you personally use
I
one?
think it is. I think it is. I mean,
I know
it's
you
so
mentioned in
sad.
terms of having an advocate there with you. That's key.
I
Key.
think it is. It's so sad to say, like, in this day and age, we shouldn't be thinking that a white nurse should treat me bad or a black nurse should treat me bad. But what I've gone to realize is there are just some white nurses that just don't care for black people.
Hmm.
And somehow it affects the way they treat you. I have seen this in my job. I
Wow.
still see it now. I see how the blacks get this horrible diagnosis of psychiatric disorders that are not even to the extent of what they are being diagnosed. And
Hmm.
I see the whites that might even be worse get a different kind of diagnosis. Like I see a lot of stuff. I see how, like, even in reports, the white nurses always say talk about the white patients being pleasant, even though they've beat somebody up, but they are still pleasant.
What?
But, yeah, but then with the black person that might have just scoffed a little bit or just yell a little bit, oh, very, very dangerous. I see that every day.
Oh my gosh.
So I just feel like I don't know what it is. If it's just whenever people just see black people, we just look dangerous. And I think I don't know if for some reason, I mean, some people just cannot change their opinion about blacks. I still see it daily. So if this is the kind of person that you are, and I'm not saying this is, I'm not saying this is like all white people. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like I said, that student nurse was absolutely fabulous,
Yeah.
and I have great people that I call friends that are white. I think it's not white. It's about the whites that grew up like this, that have been molded with this kind of thoughts to see black people in this way. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter whether they are nurses or physicians, they still treat those blacks just like that.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, those people cannot get out of their head to see people in this way. Because let me tell you one of the reasons why I chose that hospital. As a nurse, they pay better in that hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like that's a good incentive to do
Work
your
better.
job.
Treat people.
Yeah. And my coworkers at that time had told me that, oh, this hospital, the nurses, man, let me tell you how they treat the patients. They will, when you're in labor, they will soak towel in water. They'll come and dab your face, dab your eyes. They will give you mirror so you can see your baby coming out. They will let you play music. They'll let you do this. I mean, I was told all these wonderful things that the nurses do. Well, I guess do to other white patients.
Mm.
I mean, because they told me then that, yeah, they do this for like white patients and stuff. But I didn't think that they would not do it for me because I'm
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. Well, I mean, that never came to my mind, to be honest with you, because I didn't think that people are still thinking people are still like that nowadays. And even if you are like that, when you get into that kind of profession of nursing and caring, it
Yeah,
shouldn't matter who you're caring for.
exactly.
So I was with those people that took care of me. Will I say they were like that? I think some of them, because I knew the one. There was one. I don't know if she had been there, but the third time around, when she had not been involved in my care. I don't think she was. But when
Okay.
she heard that I was 9 centimeters dilated, and the nurses were still trying to not do anything, she ran. She's like, "Wait, what? We gotta call the doctor." So she was like
Mm,
trying to get me together. But unfortunately, she heard that like too late.
exactly.
Um, some of them I felt like yeah, they were like that because I saw the way they were looking at me. And the second time when I came again, they're like, if look, someone don't have to speak. You can look at their face and see what they are thinking.
Yeah,
The girl was just like, "Oh, you're back again," and
yeah.
I'm just like, "Seriously,
I
I'm
know.
back again? Really? Am I not supposed to come here?" And they were just looking at me like they are the one, like they are doing me a favor. I'm like, if I'm not coming to give back, you will not have a job. And
Exactly.
the way they were just looking at me and then asking me all these questions that I've already answered like right before I left. I just left an hour ago. You're asking me the same questions again.
Oh
And
my.
just the things that they were just doing just made me look like, even if they're not racist, they just did not value my life. They did not value my comfort. They did not value my care, to be honest with you. And that's just how I saw it. I also felt like they were also a little bit lazy. That had something to do with it too.
I'm
But yeah,
glad you mentioned that, sis. I was gonna ask you, do you think it's because maybe hospitals they're just so busy, they have so much on their mind
they
that
were not busy. In fact, I found out that a lot of the patients had been in the ward, a lot of the maternity unit at that time, nobody was having babies. So about 4 or 5 rooms, the people are just there, kind of like just doing. And if someone is in labor and just they were actually allowed to be doing their laboring thing, which meant that these people have been there since they were in my condition the first time I came. But they were obviously allowed to stay in, okay, to
wow.
actually labor properly. So everybody was just like laboring in their room, which is what I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
But I was not allowed to stay because I was not progressing far enough. But those people were not progressing far enough because I heard that there's some people that have been there for 2-3 days.
Hmm.
Okay, 2-3 days laboring, and they are still allowed to be there.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not even allowed to be there. So I mean, I cannot say I know everything, but
Hmm.
I know that if I was white, would they have taken me seriously? Absolutely yes. I know that for a fact that they would have definitely taken me way seriously had I been a white pregnant mom. Yes.
I want to ask you something. Actually, I have like you said so many powerful things. I'm trying to like catch up. So one thing that you mentioned that I really want to highlight, and again, feel free, you don't have to answer, as deeply or whatever. Like you spoke about how in your place of work, you've personally witnessed and seen, I guess, some of your white counterparts treating maybe Black patients or whoever in a different manner. What are some ways that you can maybe speak up, I guess, on the other patient's behalf, or do you ever feel like you have to, or how can you
Yeah.
that's the first one. The second one, I know for many of us African people, unfortunately, we try to separate ourselves too much from African Americans here, and sometimes we think, oh, well, maybe these issues that you guys are talking about are not important. But then, in your case, you saw it firsthand that racism, it doesn't matter if you're from the continent or from here or wherever in the
Yeah.
diaspora, it can affect you in an unexpected way. And then the third question, again, going back to the, I guess, topic of midwives and doulas and advocacy, I know you answered that very well. How can we, or how do you personally, like, would you recommend more women going that route, like maybe going to a birthing center, or what do you think about those types of, I guess, births, like more maybe quote unconventional style of birthing? Sorry, I know I asked you so many questions at once.
It's okay. Yeah, so I'll start first with the what I've seen in terms of like patient. Yeah, there's definitely been time that I've had to speak up.
Okay.
Like, I cannot. I mean, this stuff are not done. They are done subtly.
Yes,
Um,
yes, that's
they
the
are very subtle. So it's not something that the person will be like, oh, you can see that they are doing it big, but it's something that you can look and say, this is not right.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in those cases, definitely I'm just like, no, that's not what I saw.
Yeah,
I'll be like, no, that is not what I saw. This is what happened, and that is what happened. I cannot really go into details because HIPAA policy and
yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
understand.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely times where I've had to be like, yeah, this is not what that is. I definitely I see a lot of exaggeration
Mm-hmm.
on the. I mean, like I said, not all like the white nurses or whatever, but some, the ones that have that affinity to be racist. You can tell the ones that want to be racist,
Exactly.
and always have so much to say about a black patient and whatnot. And I've definitely seen black patients not get the care that they need to get
Mm-hmm.
over the white counterparts. Even in terms of like, whenever a white patient is like, oh, I need this, they are most likely to run and go get it. Than when a black person, if a black patient says, "Oh, I need this," they're like, Do you really?" Stuff like that. So
Wow.
that I see a lot. And we are not all assigned like the same patients and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So you look and you see stuff like that. I'm like, that's not cool. So yeah, in those times, if I that I've been able to like step out and say, hey, you need this, okay, I'll go get you some Tylenol. I'll go get you this.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, I'll get it. Yeah, in those cases, definitely, um, I I always step in. I actually remember, um, like a patient that I've been complaining about that one same issue. I don't know how long he's been complaining, but I know that when I got there, it's been like everyday issue.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why does these people never recommend this drug for this person?
Hmm.
And so I told the patient, I'm like, go ask for this thing. And he did. And I'm telling you, as soon as it was put on it, because I guess they figured out that I must have told him because I wrote it down for him. I said,
Yeah.
go ask this particular medication. And he asked the doctor and they gave it to him. And that was the last time he complained about that thing. So, and I'm like, why have they never put this person on it? This, all it takes, nursing judgment should tell you that this person needs this.
Yeah.
And as soon as he took that thing, it was fine. I mean, the person was discharged later on. I mean, never complained to me about that stuff. So I just feel like we are more willing to help people that we can relate to or
Identify
look
with.
like us. Yeah, identify with, and I don't think that's cool at all. Um, your second question, remind me again.
Oh yeah, no problem. So I'm saying, I know many of us continental Africans, some of us have this view, okay, when Black Americans speak about certain issues, racist issues,
Yeah,
some of us say, oh, well, maybe you guys are exaggerating, but apparently we see in the news every day, we hear all
yeah.
these things and you've witnessed it yourself. So how do you think more of us can be more maybe sympathetic towards these
I
issues?
mean, and honestly, I even started having that conversation with some of my coworkers,
Yeah,
and I like let them know that look, we are the same.
yeah,
Whether you're
exactly.
African from the continent of Africa
Hmm.
or you are Black Americans, we are the same.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, when you meet a racist cop, when
You're not
you're
gonna
not,
say, oh, where are you from?
a lot of time you don't even get a chance to talk. Look, I still have my accent, but not all of us have accents.
Hmm.
My kids are not going to have an accent like my Nigerian accent. They're
Yeah,
gonna have they're gonna talk just like any other person in America,
yeah,
and so they are going to still be treated the same way like black. So when you look at that, like we are the same. People that always try to separate or divide blacks and Africans, like this, that needs to stop. We need to learn how
exactly,
to work together
exactly.
because we are dealing with the same issue. Maybe some people that might have an accent, they might differentiate and say, oh, okay, but trust me, they're not going to say, okay, fine, you are African. Because of that, I will not shoot you.
That's terrible. I didn't mean to laugh, but that's just terrible. Oh
And
man.
sometimes we even have it worse because sometimes we also have the issue black, from our blacks that also are even mistreating us. And I experienced, it's funny because I came to this country, I experienced racism from whites and blacks. So
Yeah, it's a very sensitive issue.
yeah, that's a whole other issue.
Both
Even
sides.
the blacks that I did not think that would maltreat me even did. And that was more painful than whites maltreating me. But we are the same. And I think we need to start thinking the same. We need to start knowing that we need to come together and really know that and unite and have a one way going forward. Like come together and develop ways to make the society safer and better for us. Like we are the same. We are, even if you don't think you are the same, we are looked at the same.
Okay, exactly.
So if you're going to be looked at the same way, you better come together and figure things out. And I think, and I know that a lot of people are already doing that, and I thank God, especially in this day and age now. I see blacks wearing their, dashiki, even though we don't call it dashiki, wearing their Ankara fabrics or whatever. And a lot of blacks now are more willing to engage, to get to know where their roots might be from. A lot of people are doing the ancestry test. A lot of people are traveling back to Africa, and I love that. That's what I wish I had seen when I first stepped foot in this country. People trying to see where their roots might be from.
Exactly.
Because if you can find your roots in Africa, you will relate to me better. You relate to me more like a king,
Yeah.
not like someone that's coming to take the jobs from you. You relate to me better, and I think I can see that now. There's a shift, and I think that's good. Which is a time for us to start having this kind of conversation about how we can come together and really make this America, this diaspora, a place that's safe for the both of us.
Exactly.
And your last question about which route to go in terms of like doulas, or if you need to like go to a birthing center, I think everybody, whether black, whether white, need to determine what works for them. Till today, I will not go to a birthing center, but I know many people that love that. Till today, I will not have a home birth, but I know many people that love that. I think it's just about your personality. It's about your courage. It's about what you can take and what you cannot take. Yes, my first child was without medicine, but the second time around, after laboring for a while, I opted for epidural, and I don't regret it. It was amazing. Could I have done it? Yeah, but to me, my birth, my laboring process always is very fast.
Okay.
So when I saw that, I didn't think it was going to be that fast, but now I know that it's very fast. So if I have another child now, I'll go all the way without using an epidural because I see that I can do it.
Nice.
But at that time, when they told me that, I was still just 3 centimeters, I said, oh yeah, I've done about all I can do at this point. Go ahead and get me an epidural. But after the epidural came, and within 30 minutes, I started laboring. Like I literally was like, hey, I think I'm about to have a baby. So that's like literally 30 minutes after the epidural, and I'm like, so I definitely think I could have done it completely on my own. But
Nice.
I don't regret that. So when it comes to like types of birth you want to have, how you want to have it, I think it's up to you. For me, I'd rather go to the hospital because I just like to, because for me, if anything does happen, I need to know that I'm already in there. I've seen a lot of videos where, even when I was contemplating, do we go to the hospital? Do we do it at home? Do we go to the birthing center? And birthing center is good, but at the end of the day, God forbid, if anything goes down, they will still rush you to the hospital. If you're at home and you're having your baby, if anything goes down, you will still be rushed to the hospital. The people that I would recommend home births for are people that maybe they've done it once or they've done it twice. So like now, people like me, I can do it at home because now I kind of have a sense of how my laboring will go, and I have a sense of the kind of my symptoms, my children have been pretty healthy. You get what I'm saying? I've not had like I don't have the preeclampsia or any of this in utero kind of issues. I know that I'm pretty healthy, to say the least. So for people like me that might have a good pregnancy, yeah, I can recommend that. But if you know that your pregnancies they've warned you once or twice about certain things, the pregnancies have been a little bit difficult, I would not recommend for you to stay at home. God forbid anything goes down. The time it takes for you to, you might think that's the time where the ambulance will be there in 5 minutes, and that will be the time that they are tied up somewhere else and they are not there for another 10 minutes. You just don't know. I just feel like it's better to be safe than sorry. You can still get a doula. You can still get a midwife. You can get all those people. They can come with you to the hospital. You get what I'm saying? They can come with you to the hospital. They can still help you there. I can have a doula helping you do everything that you would have done at home. You just doing it in the hospital. And the issue with the hospital is just because there's not much people to advocate. But when you have a doula, when you have a midwife that knows, about you and they've been taking care of you, those people will be talking to the professional on your behalf. And I think that still makes for a good process. I know some people just like to have like a hold on, please.
Okay.
My children are just like disturbing the door.
Sure.
They are trying to come in where I am. But yeah, I know some people like to have like it's there. Every mom, any woman that's pregnant have a certain vision in their mind of how they want to give birth. For me, I just wanted the process to be peaceful, no matter where it is. Some people like to be at home in their comfort of their home, and just the reason why is also because they don't want to be disturbed by the healthcare workers coming in and out, asking how they're doing and whatnot, and they don't want to be disturbed by anything like that. And that makes sense. They want to kind of labor by themselves. They don't want to do it because there's something. Sometimes when you're in labor, you don't want somebody looking at you and all that stuff. So I understand that, but those are things that you can also put on your birth plan. Hey, I'm gonna be in. I don't want anybody coming to disturb me when I'm in labor.
Yeah.
I want to labor by myself. I will let you guys know when to come in and when to go out. You can write all that stuff, and you can tell the nurses when you go that, hey, don't disturb me. I'll call you. You can look, as a nurse, I would love to hear that you don't want me to disturb you. Because we are mandated to go and check on you at a certain period. But if you don't want to be disturbed, that's fine. Those are the things that you can write and you can say that you want to happen. But it's still fine that some people want to give birth in the water and all that. So that's fine. But I just always say that it's all about how your pregnancy has been going. If your pregnancy is, if you plan this and then you're now in a certain stage of pregnancy and something is going on, something is happening, and they are watching you, I will cancel that plan and get, go to hospital. But we also know that you can always plan and things always happen. You might plan to go to the hospital and have the baby at home because you came first. I think it's always good to just plan a certain way, plan safely, plan according to your pregnancy, but know that anything can happen.
Thank you. So just to round up quickly, because I know, the kids want you and hubby wants you. For young moms or soon-to-be moms, what would you recommend as far as setting up their birth plan? What should be on it? What should not be on it? And what are some of the rights that every mom should know about, including husbands or whoever may be with them, while they're giving birth? They know their rights,
What would I recommend for you to put as your birth plan as a new mom? I think definitely one of them is whether you want to take an epidural or not. Like I always recommend that. Well, actually, it's an individual. Everybody's different in how they tolerate pain. But I would recommend that you give an epidural a chance, but you can say that you're gonna try to
Just
do
one
it.
second. It looks like your line got messed up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, what I was saying is that what I would recommend for hold on right quick.
Okay, sure.
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I'm back. I'm so sorry.
No problem, sis.
But yes, what I would definitely recommend is to let them know that you will try to do it natural for as long as you can, but you want the option of an epidural.
Okay.
Definitely. Now they also have that like nitrous gas. It's a laughing gas. That is, each clinic that you might go to have like their own thing that they offer.
Okay.
So just hear everything that they offer and see which one suits you.
Okay.
Or just say you want options of certain things. I think also like if you want to, some clinic will not let you like take videos or pictures.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So if that's what you want to do, I need to ask them or no now, before you get there, start taking pictures and you are mad that your event was ruined because you couldn't take
Event.
video or pictures. Yeah. So to create your birth plan, you have to actually know. It will depend on which maternity clinic you are going to. Know what all their options are. Know what they offer and what they are not, and then be able to pick what you want to do.
Okay.
Definitely, you want to let them know that you're gonna have, whether you have your spouse with you and whoever is gonna be with you. Sometimes they might allow two people. Like I remember for my sister, they they were not used to someone coming in with a gang of people. So
Oh, okay.
eventually we had to let them know that this is culture. Culture.
Exactly.
This is our culture. Because after she had a baby, they were like, whoa, why what's all these people doing here?
Who's there?
And they wanted to. So right now I'm there as the nurse slash advocate.
Uh-huh.
My mom is there as the mother. She
Exactly.
has to be there. And then our husband's sister was there because guess what? She's gonna be there. You can't force her out. And then there was like someone like a grandma there.
Oh
We
yeah?
cannot force them out. Culturally, we cannot tell those people to go. So that's like 4 people when they only wanted like two. She did not. So eventually, they had to kick me out.
Oh
After I'm
no.
out, I'm like, no. I have to be in there.
Yeah.
That can help. So eventually, she had to let them know that hey, this is our culture. Like we cannot tell the grandma and the people to go. But this is the person that I want. But by the time they went to call me to come back, she had already had a baby. Because before I left, I now told her, I said, you are taking epidural, so you don't know how you are feeling right now, but you just told me you want to poop. Call them and tell them that you are ready to have a baby right now, because that's a sign. So thankfully, I was able to tell her that before I was kicked out. Because by the time they allowed me to come back in, she was done having a baby.
Wow.
So definitely that's part of things to put on there too. You need to let them know. These people, maybe you have your mother's, your grandma, both of the grandmas, or whoever is going to be there.
Uh-huh.
I know that you only guys only accept two, but these people have to be there. They will
Exactly.
not leave. I cannot make my grandmother leave.
Yeah.
This is
And
just a
it's it.
culture thing. We, in the also we also have to abide by culture. We also allow certain things in culture because just because you're giving birth, you're not going to be the cause of why your mother-in-law hates you. So you need to put all of those things down. So definitely, those are the times to start thinking about anybody that's coming with you, how many people is coming with you. Ask them what is allowed, what is not allowed, and start writing those things down. That this is what I want and this is what I. Because if you wait till last minute, like it's like in that case, I was now kicked out. God forbid if it was a critical situation now, I was not there to speak for her.
Yeah.
But I had to go because the grandmas are not gonna go.
Exactly.
So definitely those are the things you want to prepare for ahead of time. Yeah.
Okay. And then some of the rights every mom should know
I
about.
mean you have a right to a good care.
Okay.
You definitely do. And so that's what you have a right to say how you feel. You have a right to ask for whatever really you want, as long as it's according um to 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 the things you are trying to do. So definitely, as a patient, you are in control. The goal is to please the patient. The goal
Yeah.
is to please you. They are there for you, not the other way around. You are paying. I don't
Exactly.
care if it's insurance that's paying. I don't care if it's Medicare that's paying. Either way, you are paying. The nurses or the doctors or the healthcare workers will not have a job if you're not going there.
Yeah.
So that's already giving you all the rights in the world. Don't abuse that power, but use that power and wiggle that
Exactly.
to get what you want. And
Exactly.
trust me, we always remember the patients that fought hard for what they want. We always do. We might not like it, but we always remember them because guess what? They make us work for that thing. And we are never, I always like, whenever I see somebody like really push me hard, I'm like, yep, she really pushed me hard.
Yeah.
But guess what? They got the care that they want. When
Exactly.
they go, we don't hate them any less or whatever. We're not gonna even talk about. Yeah, we might say that person was difficult, but guess what? That person got exactly what they came here to get.
Yeah.
No hard feelings.
Exactly.
No hard feelings. So don't feel bad about asking for what you want. I need a cup of ice. I need this. I need that. Ask for what you want. I was so nice. A lot of things I should have requested for. I was like, I'm not going to do that, But looking back now, Oh yes, ask for what you want. They
Mm.
are there to serve you. That's it.
And just, I'm glad you also said it's also good just to have someone there, whether it's
Yes,
spouse,
yeah,
a
but
parent, or anyone, just to help you. Because
to
if
help
you're
you.
under, you're having about to have a baby, you might not be all the way there. Maybe you might feel
Hmm.
drowsy or whatever. So having someone to speak on your behalf and reiterate, she wants
Hmm.
this. It's very important.
Yeah,
Sis, thank you
yeah.
so much. Is there any parting word that you would like to give to the listeners?
Um. Oh wow. Okay. Well, to all the listeners out there, thank you for having me, and I hope you've learned one or two things. And yeah, definitely check out my YouTube channel and support me. I'm a new YouTuber. Support me there, and I just wish the best for everyone, and live your best life. Definitely, even during these times.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, say bye to everyone. Say hi to your family for me.
I will. I will.
All right, thank you, sis. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, thank you.